Well, here's the update on the chili cook-off. It went really well. Um, as I had mentioned before previously, when I kind of mentioned it, I brought everything up there on Monday, and apparently it was not on Monday. I had my dates wrong, so I salvaged what I could. I had made some cornbread and the chili, of course, and I had my little crock pot there. So I just put the crock pot, the inner lining part, in the fridge. And I thought, well, it'll hold for a few days. That's fine. So, so when the time came, we were supposed to take it out and put it in our commons area. So I got it all ready and got it all warmed up, and it was good to go, and it was extra spicy. Um, yeah, I have that other video on there of me trying out the spice before I put it in the chili. I ended up using the whole bottle, but yeah, it was a little warm. It was a little warm, but surprisingly enough, I enjoyed it. I had I didn't eat a whole lot of it. I mean, I just had a couple spoonfuls, and it really was good. The chili mellowed it out some, and yeah, it was really hot, but it had a great flavor, and I really liked it. Well, so I brought there was I think a dozen entries. So I made sure I didn't put mine first for the judges to taste. I kind of worked it in the line there. So when I came back downstairs after the judging, uh, boy, I got some I got some looks. I got some looks. They were not very happy with me. Um, they were understandably a little chapped that I made such hot chili, and I just made the statement that hey, it's not bad. It's just really hot, and they were saying that it was too hot to be enjoyable. And I said, well, last year I made this tremendous chili and I worked really hard on it, and y'all said wasn't hot at all. And I was like, so I mean, you can't have it both ways. So, but as I said before, it wasn't about winning. I really just kind of wanted to make them sweat. But several of my friends enjoyed it, and we all thought it was great. Uh, Somebody had brought some hot dogs so we can have some chili dogs, and so it was really good. I was really wanting some Fritos to have some Frito pie with that little that corn chip with just a little cheese on there and the Fritos. Oh man, that's a vice. Chips, I'm not a big fan of chips, but in certain situations, there's nothing better than some chips. Kind of like I mean, this is probably weird of me, but Ruffles sour cream and onion on a tuna fish. Mmm, man, it's great stuff. And the dogs are barking, so I apologize for that. Anyways, uh, back to what I was going to. Um, I didn't win, obviously, but some of the other coworkers' expressions. Oh, there's a woman there by the name of Janice, and poor Janice. She was not expecting what had happened. We were all in line to get chili, and everybody was getting a little this and a little of that, little of this. She made the mistake of having some of my chili while she was in line, and almost instant regret, I think. She was running around looking for water because she didn't bring down water with her. So it was never my intent to harm anybody, but it was hot. It was very hot. So if you were not, you know, if you were not, used to anything hot, and I did tell people, hey, my chili's hot. So if you're thinking, well, he says it's hot, but last year it was wimpy. Well, not this year. I brought the heat this year. But here's something interesting. I didn't even place. There was three prizes. I didn't even place, but I did make cornbread. And realistically, the only reason why I made cornbread is because my boss was going to be out of town, and he had told everybody he was going to make cornbread. So he says, "Well, why don't you make cornbread?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll make cornbread. I love making cornbread. Cornbread is, to me, cornbread. I love some cornbread." So I made some cornbread, a big pan of cornbread, And so I'm picking up the stuff, the leftovers, and there was people that were wanting my leftovers, so I know that the chili was good. Um, but they were talking about prizes, and I won first and the only prize for cornbread. They were like, here's the prize. It's $50. Could you believe that? $50. And I was like, wow. I didn't even know there was a contest. And they're like, oh, what? I'm like, no, seriously. I didn't know that there was a cornbread contest. And I guess nobody else did either, because I was literally the only one that entered the contest. Uh, Unknowingly, but still. And it wasn't even some of my best cornbread. It was just cornbread, and I won by default. So, to recap, I got everybody with the chili. And I say got because there's a little bit of a backstory I'll get to in a second. I got everybody with the chili, and I won $50 for cornbread, and not even great cornbread. But the backstory on the chili is not only the fact that I made an entry last year that they didn't enjoy, but previously uh, I talked to a few people there, and they wanted to do that world's hottest chip challenge, and everything around my work is food oriented. It's just the way it is, and it's the way I am. But I find talking about it maybe soothes the need to want to eat. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Anyways, we wanted to do that challenge, and we went back and forth, and finally my boss said, "No, that's too hot of a pepper. I don't want anybody to get sick up here. And even though we're all adults, we can choose to what to put in our mouth and what not. I mean, we're all professionals as far as that goes. We got, anyways. So he'd said, "Nah, probably not a good idea." And I was fine, I respected that. But then I started thinking, that hot sauce is pretty much that chili pepper challenge. So, two birds with one stone, and I got paid $50. How about that? And I got everybody to take the challenge. So, win-win, right? All right. Well, maybe that's a little sadistic. I don't know, but it was a good time, and everybody had a lot of fun, almost. And there was a lot of good chilies. There was a couple entries that I found questionable at best. But hey, everybody's got their own take on chili, I suppose. Uh, Unfortunately, there was one that was more like a beef stew. It actually had potatoes, carrots, and corn in it, which, but I mean, to me, I call that stew. That's that's no chili I ever encountered. But hey, I guess. And there was another one that was probably about 80% black beans. Now, I was thinking maybe it was a vegetarian type chili, and I asked him, and he's like, "No, that's that's how I make chili." So I don't want to say it was too beany, but that's pretty much the only description you could get. I mean, the beans were cooked well. They were just it. You might as well have just been eating spoonfuls of beans. So, anyways, and black beans are they're 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 really not super flavorful to begin with, or that's how I see it, anyways. Um, the winning entry, however, was I don't know. I kind of contest it, but it is what it is. Because instead of ground beef or ground meat or ground anything, chopped up little smokies. Yeah, never. I've never heard of doing this, but chopped up little smokies for the win, I guess. And she walked away with $50 and a trophy. So I don't know. I guess it worked. Now the next contest for it's a trophy that goes around the office, so it stays there. But the next time for the trophy is our Cinco de Mayo. We have a salsa contest. So Last year they said my salsa was too. It wasn't that it was too hot or not hot enough, but they said it was more like a, what do you call it? Where it's really chunky. They said, oh no, salsa should be almost smooth and runny. I love chunky salsa, so I don't know. That's the way I like to eat it. That way you get big scoops on your chips and stuff like that. But again, that's personal preference because I do like salsa, but I don't like the super hot stuff where you you just got to work at it. I like the big chunks of fresh vegetables when you get that on there. So I don't know. I'll be cranking up something, and then I might throw it in the food processor so it gets that nice smooth texture that they've been looking for. So, but anyways, that's something to look forward for May, and of course there's always prizes. I do like the prizes. Anyways, well, you've listened to me babble on long enough, so I hope it was enjoyable, and I hope you had a good day today, and I hope tomorrow's even better. So until then, I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.